unnecessarily entitled to so many things. If you have ever worked in a local government secretariat,
there's a place for cultural influences.
Entitlement and expectations, are there any different?
You're listening to the Value Cafe podcast with Esther Opone, aka the Value Mama. Don't go anywhere. Go anywhere.
Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Value Cafe podcast. My name is Esther Opone, aka the Value Ada, and this is where I have conversations with myself, with friends, and we just share lessons across our life journeys with the aim to add value. I beg, this life is hard. We are trying to grow, we are trying to make impact, and we are trying to hack this human experience. So we might as well do it with other people, right? And so today I snagged one person to do today's episode with, and her name is Veracity. That is Veracity of the Veracity podcast, aka the Vibes Queen. Hi Veracity, welcome to the show.
Hi, Value Mama.
Hey.
Oh my goodness. Hi girl, I'm so glad to be doing this with you. At least let me come and add more value. You are the one adding the value to me. Yeah, let me come and tip more value.
That's swapping. Okay, do you think I just sit there in one corner? I mean, I like to tap from people. I'm definitely going to be tapping a lot of value from you, and I hope to actually share with you too, and of course our listeners too. We'll all join. Value is flowing around in the atmosphere. That's one thing I know. Okay, so how are you doing over there? How's Veracity? I love your recent episode on friendship breakups, and I think it's something a lot of people don't talk about a lot, because in the friendship world, we also chop breakfast sometimes, but we move, right?
Right, movement. Anytime, any day, you always move. Don't start stagnant in one place. Breakups happen everywhere. Friendship breakup is one thing that we rarely talked about, and we all tend to overlook it most times and feel like, I'm okay. I beg everybody carry their kaya and go. But sometimes that's not the situation. You just have to talk about it, what really went down, what really happened. If you are better off without this person, or you all need to sit yourself down and talk about what really happened. Thank you so for listening. I'm so grateful.
I just asked small question and you're already sharing some value. So today we're actually going to be talking about something else, that is entitlement. That thing that they used to say is the characteristics of the Gen Z, the kids of nowadays, the something babies. Entitlement. But I think we decided we're going to bring another twist to it, right? That is not just from young people, but actually entitlement from the older folks, from people of authority, our parents, our employers, stuff like that. So what do you think? What comes to your mind first anyway when it comes to entitlement and all of this? What's the first image that pops to mind?
First of all, let me officially introduce myself again. My name is Veracity. They call me the Vibe Queen, Vibe Machines, everything Vibe. That is me. I host the Veracity podcast. Thank you so much for hosting me on this platform, Esther. And entitlement. When I hear the word entitlement, what comes to my mind is because you are old, you now feel like, oh, I should greet you when I see you in the morning. What stops you as an older person greeting me first when you see me? Do you know if I'm going through trauma? Do you know if I'm okay? No, you just feel, oh, because she's a younger person, you should definitely greet me first, no matter what you are going through. Or because you are entering a tricycle or a minibus, you see people, they are expecting you to greet them. For crying out loud, must I greet you? What happens if you greet me first? Everyone feels so entitled to one thing or the other. I don't know why that is, but African parents, Nigeria specifically, they are so entitled to so many things. Goodness. Because they own the house, they feel like they can just barge into your room like that because, hey, let me get out. They're feeling so entitled to my personal space. And I don't like it. I do not like it. That's actually the first thing that comes to my head.
Okay, well, I get that, especially coming from older people. Funny though, all of the above that you mentioned, I tend to do them more really because it's a personal principle for me. It's basic courtesy now, sure you get. But then there are some people that they now come at you, for instance, you are going on the street. As you said, maybe I'm experiencing trauma. I'm distracted. I'm walking on the road. I'm thinking of a million things or something is happening. I'm even purging. What is on my mind now is let me just enter my house and go and, relax on the White House. You're not looking at me from one corner. You're like, you did not greet me. Madam, please. Please, pity me, have mercy. And I think another thing is also, apart from even the house space, I experience this a lot, especially at work with some funny people. So they expect that even some things that are out of your JD, like your job description, they expect you to do it, sake of say, you are working under them. So I have a friend that when she was working at a point, I don't know if you watch K-dramas sometime, when a boss arrives at work and the way everybody will rush out and go and line up in the driveway or the walkway where the boss will enter. That was what the guy used to expect though. So when she arrives, they expect all of them to go out, go and carry bag, go and carry this. It does not matter what they are doing currently, they must go. So she will not be looking at you. I was coming inside. You did not shake any con. You did not carry my bag. You did not do this. You did not do that. Madam, I beg, you have PA now. Why am I supposed to leave my own workstation and then remove gloves because it's a medical environment and come and carry your bag for you? Sake of say what? You get, and so then they now tell me that, oh, you are rude, you are this, you are that, and then they then tend to like cross professional versus personal boundaries in the name of being entitled to, whatever it is that you are supposed to be delivering for. They think that you're supposed to be delivering for them. But God help us. And unfortunately, a lot of us have to just go with the flow and, do whatever needs to be done just to get out of that environment because you don't want trouble. Once you start proving points, so either you just get tired since you know that they're not going to change, you just say, well, till I leave this place at least. That okay, when it comes to people who are very, very close to us, I think there are just some expectations, right? That from outside people to like this person is entitled, but like for people that maybe we have a working relationship with, our siblings, our parents, in a way, those things do not count as entitlement, right?
Okay, first, you talked about K-drama. Oh my goodness. No. Capital letter N and no. I don't like K-drama for anything. And secondly, talking about workspace, oh my goodness, if you have ever worked in a local government secretariat, because I have a cousin who worked there at the time while she was 7, those women, when they start gossiping and they're like, hey, come, they feel so entitled in that environment. Get entitlement firsthand. You experience it over there. There was a video that trended, I think it was within this month, of a certain broadcast station where a reporter was mentioning his name and he was like, you tell me if you're the one that gave me that name or something. That is a fucking entitled man. Sorry for the swear word. Feels like because he's older and has been in the broadcasting industry, so to say, for the longest time, he feels the girl should accord him respect. Call him, daddy, Ruben, dad, sir, doctor, Mr. People feel so entitled. Calling people by their first name is actually very acceptable. In the Western world, people can usually refer to their uncle like Uncle Jake, Uncle Jane. But here, if you don't call your uncle daddy, they'll feel you are disrespecting them. If you even call your elder brother by their first name, they feel like, you know how many years I tested you?
Mm-hmm.
Your mom will be the first person to be pissed. Like, can't you call him brother this, brother that? And I'm like, is that not his name? Are you people kidding me? That is seriously what in terms of entitlement. So yeah, talking about people we have cool relationship with. Now I'm starting to ask, entitlement and expectations, are there any difference? Really? Because as a person, let's say I am in a romantic relationship, I expect them to do some certain things, right? I expect you to be accountable to an extent to me if you are not officially married. I expect you to communicate with me. I expect you to be very, very expressive about your feelings and everything. But entitlement becomes when I say, you must do this one, you must do that one. You're expecting to be treated like an egg, whereas you are not doing anything to reciprocate that. Yeah, you get the whole scenario. But I feel like to an extent, we should actually be entitled to some certain things. Like, your parents are entitled to respect from you. You should respect them 100%. Mm-hmm. But entitlement is now when they are feeling like, oh, you are big enough, you have become of age, and they expect you like, you should start contributing to the house. What if I'm not working? You are entitled to my money. Of course, I'm supposed to contribute, but don't feel like because you are making 100,000, you should contribute 50% to the running of the house. Now you born me con this life. I didn't ask to be born. I was born without my concept. So don't force me to contribute. Let me do it at my own will. That becomes entitlement. So yeah, I feel we should all expect something from people. Depends on the kind of relationship we have with them first. And depends on how we rapport with them. You can't just meet me on a normal day and expect me to be dobale for you and be greeting. Good morning, sir. I don't fucking know you. I choose to greet you. I choose not to greet you. What happens if you greet me first?
I think that we should also give grace there. Of course, there's a place for cultural influences. That some of these things are not peculiar to Nigeria. Like when you get in certain environments, you realize that what obtains are different. So for instance, in the East versus Southwest Yoruba land and all of those things. In Yoruba land, something that you as Igbo would just do, not because the person is being rude or anything, it's just like, oh, good morning, ma, good morning, something like that. And then you move on. To them in Yoruba land, some will see it as being rude because you didn't go all the way and grovel and, your knees did not touch the ground and all. Meanwhile, to an able person, they would be thinking, oh, this is very unnecessary. Those people just like behaving somehow and all of those things. But it's really understanding that there are like some cultural differences. Some places like Japan now, Korea, say India or some other places where the cultural expectations are different, right? Even maybe to some extent even harsher than here in Nigeria. So I think that's where we begin to now define, oh, is this entitlement or maybe it's a cultural expectation? Now, of course, with Western influences, with mixture of people, with more exposure, yeah, we get to see more of these things, or maybe it becomes more lenient, but maybe they are not just outrightly be trying to be entitled in quotes like that. They are just culturally shocked because they do not expect that this small girl, according to our culture, you're supposed to be kneeling down, and then this small girl is looking at me as if I'm a mate. You get that kind of thing?
Yeah, I totally get it. Culture, let's say, has done more harm than good in this area of entitlement. Really, it has. Because talking about that greeting you talked about, where I'm from Edo State, and we kindly just greet or probably prostrate a little. Do we prostrate? No. Just like greet, you can just stand and greet your elder and they're okay. But talking about, even in South, talking about people from the West, if you don't lie down on the floor flat, they'll think you've not even done anything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is it. That's another person feeling entitled. They do not care if you are from heaven or you are from West or you are from South. They expect you to do the same because since you are probably like in Osun State now and you are from Enugu or Calabar and you stand to greet them, they'll feel disrespected. They expect you to lie down on the floor and greet them. For crying out loud, can you just give me credit for this? Like, yeah, that is another sense. Like, that sort of entitlement culture has done more harm than good.
So, the first time you experienced something like that, right? How did you feel? You greeted someone the way you always knew how to greet someone for the first time, and you were attacked in quotes for it.
Okay, I don't think I've ever experienced that. Really, I haven't. I just greet people. I could probably bend a little. My news, like my head, like the ways guys greet, like just bend down their head and greet. And I think if I were in that situation, like I greeted you while standing and you think I was not being respectful, I would probably feel like, why don't you just take the greeting? Okay, let's say it depends. If I see like, okay, this person is like grandparents, I'm just like, well, now old man, let me just try greet the person. If I see that the person is not up to the age of giving birth to me, well, you are going to have it on, my dear, because you're not my mother.
How you go take mother
from me? Yes, so it depends. You have to look at people before you grade them. But generally, it just depends. And my mood, if I'm in the very happy and jovial mood, okay, what is there? Let me just kukuma like roll on the floor and greet you.
You even do. There's a Ricky. You sing first names.
Yeah, copies to rain majorly.
By the end of the day, everybody go there alright. But I really generally do. Just all need to do better. The way people even throw the word entitled around to, like, especially when older people are referring to younger people and they say, your generation, you don't want to pay your dues, you're entitled. And this is usually coming from something that you are really entitled to in the real sense of it, right? So maybe young people, you like money, you're entitled. You have a contract, a job contract, and you say, oh, this is the deal. I walk into office, I do my work, I satisfy everybody, I meet all the terms, and then you're supposed to pay me my money and all of those things. And then you're saying, Ogbeni, I did the work, I'm entitled, yes. Whether you now mean it in the negative sense or the positive sense, just pay me my money. Abi, I did not come to Lagos to count bridge now.
That's the usual slang. I didn't come to Lagos to count bridge. Person is just being plain, sorry to use the word stupid, like somebody has worked her ass out. And to pay them, you're not talking stories. For what exactly? What point are you trying to prove? If they didn't come to make money, why would they be in your organization? Why would they be working their ass off every now and then, trying to make sure they meet deadlines and all of that? I think that does not really make any sense. You're just trying to look for excuse not to deliver your own side of the agreement. You're just looking for excuse, basically. But generally, I think my generation needs to do better, because sometimes we just feel unnecessarily entitled to so many things. Probably because where we grew up from, how they raised us, our parents, what we've experienced, our past relationships with people and all of that. Those actually influence our sense of entitlement. And secondly, since we are already forming woke, every now and then, if you go to the street of Twitter, everybody is forming wokest generation, wokest in Jesus' name, amen. But hey, since we are already forming woke, let's just be woke to the call. I mean, you don't feel so entitled to some certain things in people's life. And if you do not have a cordial relationship with them, do not feel entitled. If people don't play to your tune, don't get offended. Try to make an excuse for them in your head. Nigeria as it is now is really a whole lot. Everybody is going through a whole damn lot. The heat alone is enough to make people run mad. Yeah, so let's just reduce the sense of entitlement. If you have cordial relationship with them, be entitled to communications. If you are in a romantic relationship, even normal platonic relationship, I'm your friend, you're my friend, you are going through something, you don't need to tell me. Now status I can't see and say, oh, I was hospitalized for 2 days. Nobody cares. Really?
How I guess I be winch.
I on the other end, I should not be the one drawing conclusion that, oh, she's my friend, she should only be the one to reach out. I should also reach out to you. Oh, I've not seen you for 2 days. I've not seen your post for 2 days. What's up with you? Are you okay? Is anything the matter? It should be balanced, not just expecting one thing from one person and not reciprocating the energy. You want to keep person, you want to drain the person's energy. Like, are you the only person in that person's life? Of course not. We should actually try to balance things up first. The good book said, do to others as you want it to be done unto you. Yeah, if you want so from your friendship, you should be able to give it 100%.
And I think that's the whole conversation they actually need to have, especially about communicating with your friends.
Yes,
because
communication is very important.
A lot of people are going through a lot of things, and sometimes we just don't know. And it's okay for you to tell us, oh, I'm going through this, and then not be angry or resentful that, oh, they did not cure, they did not magically know. Do you know what myself I was going through? And even at that, of course, we still extend grace to one another and all. Again, there are just some people you just give allowances in your life. But then, do you think this thing can get better? Do you think this could be a trend that will continue even with us? Like, sometimes I wonder about those things, that we will not end up becoming the same people that we always complained about.
Well, sometimes that's actually what it is. You end up becoming what you condemn. You see, somebody that has not given birth is saying, when I give birth, my mother was this one, I was that one, she will burst into my room, you don't know. When you give birth, you do 10 times worse.
Well, I think sometimes we actually, but I think at times we have the best of intent, right? We have these things that we want to do better ourselves, but then we get into those places and realize that it's hard work to shift from the start. Last we go do all right. Now we go finish the talk with that. We go do all right.
We gonna be all right. There should be limits to everything. Don't feel too entitled. To an extent, so if you have a very, very good relationship with them, it's fine. But if not, my dear, pick sense. Carry sense before your head. And everything should be done in moderation. Don't overdo it. Can underdo it in this very scenario, but don't overdo it. Yeah, that is it from me.
God will help us. We should help ourselves. All right. So when are we expecting your new episode, madam? Because
Oh,
as a
okay.
listener, I can say that I am entitled to ask you that question.
Oh, okay, yeah. In this scenario, you are so entitled, my dear, and I owe you every damn explanation there is to offer.
I'll
Of
hold you
course,
by
you're
your
entitled.
chest.
Who am I? Vibration. Who are we? Okay, yeah. Every episode drops every Monday and every Friday, but sometimes it drops on Wednesdays, 8 o'clock
Okay.
a.m. West
AM or
African
PM.
time. A.m.
Imagine you're waking up, you're starting your day with vibes.
Bye. Oh my
Your head,
goodness. I'm feeling
your head
vibes.
will just wake up. Your head will just wake up. All right. Thank you so much for coming on the show, the Vibes Queen. Everybody, you have been listening to Veracity of the Veracity podcast, the Vibes Mama, the Vibes Major, the Vibes Mommy, everything that has to do with vibes.
Did you call? Oh my mommy! Oh my goodness! Thank you so much. I feel so honored. I'm so glad this opportunity has been a long way coming. I feel so honored. I want to thank my integrated science teacher. I want to thank my Introtech teacher. I want to thank everybody that has contributed. I want to thank Vibe Nation for believing in me. I'm on this platform. It's not my power. We return on the glory to
I hate it.
I'm ready, people. Thank you so much for coming through and listening to me talk. Thank you so much. Every value adder. Is that retro to say? But hey, yeah, I'm giving you the title. You can add it to your title.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. My name is still Veracity. They call me the cruise queen, Vibe Machine, President Vibe Nation. That is me, basically.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in and listening to us. You can check out Veracity online at the Veracity Pod. All right. Thank you so much for joining today's episode. I remain your host, Esther Opone, aka the Value Adder, and I'm passionate about adding value to lives and spaces around me in any way possible, such as through conversations with cool people like this. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Do well to listen. Give me your feedback, engage. You can follow me on all social media platforms at The Value Cafe, or you can send your feedback, or if you want to partner or make inquiries, send a mail to thevaluecafepod@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining, and then I'll see you next episode. Bye.
Don't forget to tip how drop money to move the ministry forward.
Money. Ask for my account number. I can even call it on air right now.
That's important.
Bye.